For starters, take me back to what your life was like prior to May 2017.
I mean, it was pretty normal. I was a pretty normal guy who did normal things. I played football. I wrestled before that, and it's not. I was just like everyone else. It was, yeah.
When was the first? What was the first hint that something wasn't right?
I just had some pain in my jaw, and then gradually it started getting swollen, and my face got numb.
Wow. And when were you diagnosed?
May 12th.
And what was your What was that moment like when you found out that you're, how old, 17 years old?
Yeah, I was 17 years old.
17 years old at the time that you had cancer.
I was really confused. It was just that day, May 12th, was just going through a whole bunch of hallways and people pushing me around in a bed, and I didn't really know what was going on. It took me a few hours after they kind of hinted that I have cancer for me to actually be like, wait, so I have cancer? And they were like, yeah.
What kind of cancer is it?
Alveolar rhabdomyosarcoma.
And what does that mean?
Name, I don't know what exactly it means, but it's a soft tissue cancer. It spread to my bones, so it's not entirely soft tissue, but that's what it mainly is a soft tissue sarcoma.
And how has your life changed since May 12th?
I try to be the same guy that I was before. I like to hang out with all my friends just like I did before all this, and I tried my best to be around the football team whenever I could. I mean, every now and then I have to go to the hospital, but other than that, I'm pretty normal.
How often do you have to go get treatments and things of that nature?
Really depends on what I'm doing. So right now it's once a week. It used to be times where I'd have to go 5 days a week. Just depends.
Why was it so important to continue to be a part of the football team?
Well, do you want to restart that?
Yeah, sure. Why was it so important for you to continue to be a part of the football team?
I worked, since 7th grade to build up a foundation of that team and to try and be a leader. And it sucks having your senior year taken away. There's nothing you can do about that. But I still felt like I deserved to put all that work that I had put in the previous years and be a part of the team. That's all I wanted.
You were a captain of the team, from my understanding. How did you lead?
I like to lead by example. I wasn't really a rah-rah type of person. When I had to be, obviously, when I couldn't be on the field, I got a little more vocal, but I like to be, just lead by example.
And what message do you hope that you've gotten across to your teammates and your peers and everybody who's around you as you've kind of gone through this journey?
Specifically to my team was, love the game, love the opportunity that you get to play, because I went all those years, training up, and I was like, I'm never going to get hurt, I'm never going to tear my ACL like the other guys. Well, I never did, but obviously my injury was a little bit worse than that. And to everyone else, it's just, I like to preach to never stagnate, no matter what the circumstances. Don't use that as an excuse to stagnate, and always just get better.
What is your passion for football?
I just really like to hit. That's about it. I can't throw, I can't catch, but that's about.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your passion for football?
I'm just good at hitting. I can't throw, I can't catch, I can't run with the ball. I'm really good at hitting.
So you're a fighter.
Yeah.
Has the mentality that you possess playing football been applicable with the mentality of fighting cancer?
Absolutely. It's got to be, you're pushing. You got to always be the one attacking. That's, in my eyes, how you should play as a linebacker and how you should play as a cancer patient.
I read somewhere that your motto is, don't complain and don't ask why.
Mm-hmm.
How did you adopt that attitude, and how has it been helpful?
Well, my coach who passed right before I was diagnosed, that was his motto. He always said it to us. Even through his treatment, he never complained. He never, asked why this had to happen to him, and that's just something really admirable and kind of applies to me now.
Is it hard not to complain? Is it hard not to ask why?
No, I think it would be harder to complain and ask why, because then you just put yourself in a miserable spot.
I read somewhere that a nurse said that you're always smiling and you're always have a positive attitude. Where does the happiness come from? What are you smiling about, and why is that attitude so important?
I mean, it's just kind of who I am. I don't think I'm ever really sad. I just enjoy wherever I am, enjoy the people around me. You know, I love the nurses who I see, and, you know, naturally that would lead me to make jokes with them and always be happy around them.
What have you learned through this journey?
I think I learned a lot about myself. I learned kind of how strong I am. I don't want to brag about it, but it's just, you know, in this kind of
brag about it.
This kind of situation, you see what you can handle, and I think I've handled it pretty well.
How have you handled it?
I mean, just I do everything by myself, and I'm really proud of that. I don't have other people who, you know, feel like they need to support me. I like to support the other people around me, you know, and just.
You're receiving an award, the Courage Award at the Sports Award.
Mm-hmm.
How do you define courage?
I would say courage is knowing what is ahead and still charging forward through it.
What does it mean to receive this honor?
Obviously, I'm really honored, you know, on behalf of all the patients. You know, there are a lot of kids who put up a really strong fight, and, you know, to kind of be able to represent them and what they go through is absolutely amazing to me.
I read somewhere that you haven't met another child with the same diagnosis.
No, I have not.
Does that make it more difficult?
I mean, yeah, you kind of feel like no one gets it, but then again, there are lots of other different types of cancers. Just because mine's really rare doesn't mean that, you know, a kid with leukemia isn't going through something just as bad, you know.
What would be your advice if there was a kid who today was their May 12th?
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell them as they go through this journey?
Find something you love, find people you love, and focus on making yourself better.
What was that something that you love that you've been focusing on?
My girlfriend, my football team, you know, I love finance, those kinds of things, you know.
What have the people around you meant throughout this process? How have they supported you, and what has it meant to you to have their support?
I think they've, number one, they showed me that if I do need someone to fall back on, that they're always there. But I think most of it is they kind of treat me just the same way they did before. We always joke around. We always, you know, we're the same group of friends, and I really love that.
What's been the toughest thing to deal with?
Showering is, got a nice little hole in my chest. I think that's sucks.
So why is showering hard?
You got this hole here. You can't. I got the Broviac, and you know, you put there's a film over it.
Yeah.
But you still can't get that wet. So then, you know, it's not as, you don't get to indulge as much when you shower.
So it's the little things in life you've now become to appreciate.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are your dreams for the future?
You know, I want to study finance, and I want to be really good at it, and I want to, you know, use whatever success in the future that I have to help cancer research, help patients who are, you know, buy them Christmas presents, you know, little things like that. It doesn't have to be big PR stunts, you know.
Yeah. What do you value most now?
Life. I absolutely do value it. You know, every day I try to just appreciate everything that I have.
And is that what makes you smile?
I guess so, yeah.